Today we have a very special Geoff Wilson show. I am bringing on my young card shark. My 13-year-old son, Reaves, has gotten wildly into sports cards, and he has learned how to do some really savvy deal making, especially with football cards. So today, I want to learn from Reaves. I want all of us to learn from Reaves. I want to get his take on the modern football card market, what cards are hot right now, and if you are trying to flip football cards, what is the best cards to hone in on to successfully flip? We're going to get his perspective on all of that, and we're also going to find out from him how he has learned so much about cards and how, if maybe you're newer starting out or you're trying to get your kids into it, how you can help bring them along and get them into cards as well. So it should be a really fun episode to hear his perspective. Please welcome my son Reaves to the Geoff Wilson Show. Reaves, welcome to the Geoff Wilson Show.
Good to be here.
Hey, look at this. This is the first time. Obviously, you've been on Sports Card Investor content before, and you've been in Cards HQ and in the studio a lot, but you've never actually been a guest on my podcast before.
Yep.
So welcome. So you have been hanging out here at Cards HQ all day today.
For hours, yeah.
We're filming this. I think it's about like 3 in the afternoon.
It's around 3.
And you've been here
2:30.
since like 10 in the morning when we got here this morning. What have you been doing today at Cards HQ?
Well, at the start, I had cards. I wasn't able to sell them. I had a grading order. I got back. I sold those cards.
You sold them to the store.
Correct.
Okay. Which you do often. You bring your cards.
I do
you
that.
Bring your
I
own
do that
cards
almost
in
every time.
often and sell to Cards HQ.
Somehow I have new cards every time,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm not like going anywhere else.
Yeah, but trade nights and
That's
sending
true.
cards off for grading and everything, opening boxes, which you do
That's true.
throughout the course of the month.
I do
You're
it a
ending
lot.
up with new cards often. So you sold some cards to the store. What cards did you sell and why?
It was some lower end stuff. It was a lot of the stuff I got back from grading. It was a few short prints. I've actually been focusing a lot more on short prints.
Okay. Why is
Like,
that?
They're what sell the easiest, I've found. And I run into a problem sometimes where I will buy like too big of a card or like too crazy of a card where it'll just sit and will be hard to sell. That doesn't happen with short prints.
And short prints, you mean Kaboom, Downtown, Color Blast?
And even the lesser ones like Kaleidoscopic, they have in the New Year Mosaic, the Holo Heroes that they have in Illusions, Razzle Dazzles, stuff like that, explosives. I've actually been picking up a lot of explosives.
Why do you think those cards sell better?
The IPL, they just look nice.
Mm-hmm.
They just look cool. And then there's also a sense of rarity. Like regular inserts also look cool. Like some of the new ones from Phoenix, like those Fire Forged, and there's some other cool ones from Phoenix. But like the short prints look cool, and they have a sense of rarity, which I think makes people want them more.
Interesting. So you said those to you are highly liquid.
They are.
What does that mean? Easy for you to sell and trade out of whenever you want to?
They are, and it's also a card that I don't mind keeping.
Okay.
Right, because I love how they look. Right? I see after this ends, I'm eyeing a Bijan Kaboom in the case.
Okay.
Y'all have one in, right? Someone just came in with a Drakeland and Mango that once that hits the case, I'm going to try to buy. So it's like, just stuff like that. Anything that looks nice.
So Bijan Robinson, would you rather have his Kaboom, or would you rather have his Prism rookie numbered to, I don't know, maybe 99? Those might be approximately the same price, or numbered to 49 or something like that. Maybe
Whatever
the same
is
price
the
as
same
the
price
Kaboom.
value.
Yeah.
Definitely the Kaboom.
Why?
The Kaboom's actually not rarer. Those, like the Kabooms, I have a Adrian Peterson Downtown. When we were doing the price thing, I was just like, I wonder what the pop on is on this. There are 84 9s, which is what I have. I have a 9. Then there's like 79 10s. That's already 150. Mine's the Donruss. So there's also like, 200 that are better than mine because they're all optic.
Right.
So
and then there's clearly Donruss,
and then there's
Kabooms,
clearly-
and then there's
Not Kabooms, Downtowns.
or downtowns rather, and then there might be some other type of downtown as well. So there's
And then there's the gold and the black.
Yeah.
The black,
Black Pandora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
gold vinyl.
Yeah. So okay.
Even though it isn't rare,
right.
like the getting to downtowns, I guess it's kind of the same rarity, like technically, as pulling like an out of 250. There's probably like 250 downtowns that you can, like, of one player that you can pull. Like if I opened up, 2022 Optic, there's probably 250 Brock Purdy downtowns. I could pull one of those downtowns, or I could pull a Brock Purdy numbered to 250. That's 100th of the price.
I mean, if there were already, 160, 170 Adrian Petersons on the grade report in 9 and 10, PSA only, that doesn't count SGC, that doesn't count BGS. Now, there are probably very few at BGS, but there may be a few. That doesn't count raw, and that also doesn't count ones that are still in boxes sealed, which probably still is many, 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 because people like to hoard wax. There's that card alone. I would think there would be probably
maybe
300 or 400 of. And that's only in the base Donruss downtown.
Not
you add in the optics, that might double those numbers or come close to doubling.
And then you got like the gold and the Black Pandora, which adds 35.
Yeah. So maybe it's a little bit of a misnomer that the downtowns are actually that rare. Now you could make, though, the argument on something like a numbered Prism card, though.
You can only pull one downtown in the case. Well, that's not true. You can pull multiple, but like it's rare.
Right.
Whereas you're going to pull more than one numbered to 250 card in case. So.
True, but the downtown checklist has a lot less players on it.
That's true.
So that's why you end up with higher populations. Because the out of 250, every single player in Prism football has an out of 249 or whatever it is. Every single one on the checklist, which is a couple hundred players.
Yep.
Whereas the downtown checklist is probably like, 30 players, 25 players, something like that in a given year. So there may be less, but they're in total there's less than there is the number of 250s because of that reason alone. In Prism, you have to figure that, although that sounds like a lot of downtowns, if we take an equivalent player in Prism, you got to consider
they're out of 150.
Correct. And then add them all up. Add up the out of 249, the 199, the 149, the 99, the 99 in a different color, the 60, the 49, the 25.
And then there's like dumb colors that are out of like 179.
Yeah.
And then there's like hypers that are out of 89 and stuff.
So you get to like 1,000 plus numbered cards of every single player in the checklist of Prism. So a numbered card in general of CJ Stroud out of Prism is going to be more common than a Kaboom of CJ Stroud.
Of course.
But the Kaboom's going to be more common perhaps than like the out of 25 out of Prism, something like that. So interesting. Okay, so a little bit of card economics there, maybe, so to speak. But you go to these short prints. That's what you've been getting more and more into recently. You made a comment about not wanting to get too high end with cards. Talk to me about that.
With short prints, it's fine. You can buy. I was just looking on eBay, looking up a different card. For some reason, the CJ Stroud downtown out of the new Optic PSA 10 pulled up, $4,600. I think was the last comp as of filming this. That's fine. I would buy that card and have it as like one of my only two cards, because that's a card I'm going to get interest in, and that will sell. That's not a card I'm at all worried about not being able to sell. If you put me in a 2-day card show and gave me a gold CJ Stroud downtown, I could sell it to you for around how much it's worth. Well, obviously not exactly, because people take the fee, but I will sell it to you for a fine price. Or I'll sell it for a fine price. But, yeah, I think that when you get too high end, when it's like a weirder card, or even not a weird card, just a card that people don't want and can't afford, right? If it's a card that people don't generally want, like I don't necessarily want a Will Levis Holo Heroes. Like, I don't really love Will Levis. He's not like the guy I'm investing in. But I went to a local card shop here that's not Cards HQ, and I bought a Will Levis Holo Heroes because it was a Holo Heroes, and I've already sold it. So it's like, I was not worried at all that I was going to end up doing that. But it's like, when you get into high-end cards that maybe you're like, select no huddles. Like, if I had a select no huddle gold Anthony Richardson, that's probably like a $2,000 card. So it's an expensive card. But I don't know how many people are going to want that type of card.
You're going to have a lot more trouble moving that than a Kaboom.
Exactly. Or
Okay.
like Bryce Young. Like I could have a Bryce Young Kaboom PSA 10 that's, what's that, probably $1,500? Or I could have his gold out of 10 in a PSA 9. That's also probably $1,500. I will sell the Kaboom 40 times before I'm able to sell something like the gold at a PSA 9.
So this would be, I guess this would be true with like a maybe a Contenders Optic rookie ticket auto type card. Those sell pretty well.
Those do.
Those sell pretty well. Those
But the
have some lineage
RPAs
to
sell
them.
weird. Because there's also RPAs out of that product,
Right.
which do not sell well. 'Cause
Right.
It's kind of weird.
It might be
And
true with
anything-
like an encased card, like the encased set. You get some high end cards in there, but
God,
those are
I hate those ones because they because one, why is it rating a 9? Did you hurt the card before putting it into the slab?
right.
And then two, they don't give the BGS, they don't do the subgrades, which really annoys me. The cards are awesome. They put awesome inscriptions on those cards. Like, they're so cool. But I don't like those cards. They really annoy me.
What about RPAs from strange sets? Like, what about an out of 10
Certified.
certified RPA? There's RPAs in Absolute. There's RPAs in
Those
Zenith,
don't sell well.
XR,
They don't.
Playbook. None of that
They
stuff.
don't sell well.
Yeah.
Panini 1,
Panini 1. What about that?
they don't sell well either.
They don't sell well either? Even though that's actually a popular set for breakers.
They really don't even. It's popular because it's expensive. One card, it's just easy. Just slice and you get a lot of stuff.
What
Or,
about-
not a lot of stuff?
What about, like, I know National Treasures, obviously the true RPAs to 99 are always super desirable, but what about like the
Not-
other stuff from National Treasures? Like
I mean-
Colossal Jersey, patch and that kind of stuff.
I don't know what it is called, but there's one other RPA that I found sells well. Or maybe two RPAs that I found sell well. I couldn't really describe them, but there's two others, but they're both vertical. They're both vertical RPAs. They're not like the Colossal or anything. They're vertical, right? Any horizontal RPA, whether it's from Flawless, National Treasures, they don't sell as great, or they're generally cheaper. They sell fine, but they're generally cheaper,
Yep.
which is weird. But even to my point, like, it's also hard to sell some cards that are so expensive. Like last National, I had a Trevor Lawrence Kaboom. It was a PSA 9. Back then, it was $3,400 for a PSA 9 Trevor Lawrence Kaboom, which is really weird because I was able to get a Burrow for less than that, but that's not the point of this. That was a like $3,400 card. It was hard to sell that card, even though it was a rookie Kaboom. I had to end up taking like a $100 loss on it because Lawrence was not the guy I wanted to invest in. It's the same thing with I was just saying with Will Levis. If I go out and buy a Will Levis Kaboom and we're inching closer to the season and I'm starting to get worried that I'm going to have to hold this into the season, which I don't want to do, I'd take a loss on it just to make sure I don't take like a big dump on it. But
Why would you not want to hold a card like Will Levis into the season?
his team's not great.
Yeah.
His team's not good. He's not good. He had one good game.
So you think
He's good.
you think a couple losses into the season, the prices will start to drop pretty quickly. We see that every year. I mean, that's the
yeah.
case with football cards. With football cards, there's always, you look at the data trends and market movers, there's always this run up in prices
course.
that peaks right around the start of the season. And then quickly,
We'll go down.
most football cards fall quickly right after the season starts. The exceptions are the guys who get off to an incredibly hot start. Last year, Tua. Right, Tua, who we
Purdy.
both said at the same time, Purdy. Because their teams start undefeated, 6-0. Tua put up 70 points on the Broncos. Like, those types of performances in the early part of the season will cause their prices to continue to go up. But that's not the case with like 90% of football cards.
Yeah.
So you like to try to get out of a lot of stuff. If you're going to hold a card into the season, because you're going to you're going to have some football cards. You're not. Of
course.
What are the cards that you would want to hold into the season?
Actually, it'd be short prints of players that aren't as big or retired, right? My Adrian Peterson, my Dan Marino.
Safe. Yeah.
Safe cards, but that are still modern. Because I don't love investing into old cards. It's
Right.
not my thing. Like, they're cool. Like, I'd get, if I had the money, I'd buy a 52 Mantle and a 1. right? Or an authentic. I know those are still like $10,000, but I mean, I'd do it if I had the money.
That, yeah.
If I had the money, I'd do it. But it's like the eye appeal is just not quite there.
Sure.
For some of them, it's there. Like there's some awesome rock or old cards in the shop that I've like been looking at. There's some awesome ones, but not all of them. Most of them are not. But
You like shiny.
I do.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can
I like
do,
shiny too. I mean, I've come to appreciate, the old stuff I should say I've always appreciated because that was around back when I was a kid too. But like, I've come to appreciate certain areas of vintage more than I ever have in the past because I've gotten more into the history of the sports. And I think as you get older and you get kind of wider perspective on life, you kind of get into history more and that kind of stuff. So then that gets you more into the vintage stuff. But I hear you. Like when I got back into cards, 6-7 years ago, it was all about chasing shiny, and I still love shiny. Like shiny's still
shiny's the best.
Shiny's cool, I mean, I understand why you love the Kabooms and the Downtowns. They're beautiful cards.
And then another thing you can do is just look up the schedules of people. Mm-hmm. Who do you think is going to do well? Like half of it's sports gambling, right? Yeah. Like I can go out and play it real safe and have zero sports gambling involved, or I can go buy 5 quarterbacks, say, y'all better do well, and just gamble on them, right? It's like, there's really 2 approaches you can take.
Okay, so you've dropped a lot of knowledge here on this podcast so far. I'll remind the audience, you're only 13 years old.
Correct. I'm not for real sports gambling. It's just sports cards.
Well, I was, if we were to sit down and have had this same conversation 2 years ago, I don't think you would have nearly had this same perspective or understanding of what cards you want to be in or how the market works or anything like that. How have you built up so much knowledge over the last few years?
I mean, just really doing it, like going through the highs and lows. Like I've gotten cooked on some cards. Today I made $250 on a card. So it's like in 20 minutes, right? Bought a card from the shop. Some guys came in, sold it to them. $250 profit. Like,
tell me about that. I know I saw part of this happen because you were excited. You showed me you had bought it. You found a card in one of our showcases here at Cards HQ.
Well, I get a little special treatment because it was one of the cards that had not gone to the showcase yet.
Oh, okay.
So I was the only person that could technically access that card.
Okay.
I get a little bit of special treatment.
So you went through.
I went through
the cards that we had bought in inventory, but we hadn't yet put out in the showcases.
And I found from Certified, which is not the greatest set, but it was the true 1-of-1 rookie of Tank Dell.
It's a good card.
Like it wasn't an insert. It was just the true.
Mm-hmm.
It was at 175.
That's what we had it stickered at?
Yeah. I saw the Rookies and Stars true did 150.
Okay.
Rookies and Stars is worse.
Yeah, not as good of a brand.
But it's around there. So I
think Certified's a decent amount better than Rookies and Stars.
I said to the guy, would you bring it down to 150? He said, yeah, sure. So then, because if you have like a price thing, if it's like this card's a little over what the comps are saying, you can go talk to someone. You got to talk to someone. It has to be Ryan or Carter, or no one else will change it for you. But you can go talk to one of them. And if you're crazy, they're not going to change it for you. But if you have a point, they're going to change it for you. But you have to be buying the card. Because, like, they don't change the sticker. They just change the price that is attached to the sticker. Like, you can say 175 and I bought it for 150. Like, it's the same thing. So, I got it for 150. And then later, as I was looking it up again, because I was just it was just an amazing card. I was just looking up, trying to find better comps than 150. Because I thought I could do it. I thought there could be a better comp, right? The Absolute, just the regular, no auto, nothing, went for 350.
And I would equate the Absolute more to Certified. I think Certified and Absolute
and
are around the same kind of.
I don't know if it was the true.
Yeah.
It was like some weird black diamonds or something. And I'm sure there's more 1-of-1s in Absolute than there are in Certified. So actually, the Certified one's probably a little more, I guess you could say, rare inside of Certified. But yeah, these people came in. If you want to see the cards, I'll show you. And I just had gotten a grading reveal order back. The reveal video will be on Card Kids. I traded one of the cards I got from that, and it was a big card. It was Justin Jefferson's Origins, just the base. Like, not the number or anything, but those are like nice liquid cards. Any card like that's also liquid. On-card autos, not crazy expensive. Like the Prism autos are expensive, and those are liquid. And like the Origins autos are liquid, even though Origins isn't a great set. Like, that's another card that I buy that's also liquid. Like, I bought a Bijan Prism auto silver PSA 10 because that's just a liquid card that will sell. Stuff like that sells too. Like, you don't only have to be going to buy short prints. But anyways, I graded that, bought it raw. Bought it raw for less than it was worth too. Like, because he had it marked like less than it was in the showcase. And then I traded that away. I got 600 value out of that. I bought it for 300, graded for $16. So I made $284 profit on that. Then I also traded away the Tank Dell at 350. Made $200 on that one.
So the card you just picked up in the store this morning, the Tank Dell 101 for $150.
I traded for $350 value.
You traded it
at $350 value.
A couple hours later.
Not even. It was like 20 minutes later.
20 minutes later for $350 value to somebody who walked into Cards HQ.
Yes.
Which is probably more what the value was. I actually think we underpriced that. If we had that at $175 or $150, I think our team underpriced that card.
That's what happens. You got to go look for the deals. I'm in here all the time. So,
yeah.
I mean, always looking. I'll find it. I found deals like that before, but I haven't picked up. Like, there was a Tua RPA out of National Treasures that y'all had priced at $5, and the last sale was $6. But it was Tua, and I didn't have a whole lot of cash at that moment. And it was like, wasn't something I loved. It was like, I didn't love the card with napkin patch. It was like, eh. But it was still under comps. So it was like, still, like, you want it because it's under comps. Right? Because most of your stuff's fairly comped. And then a few of them are over comps, but it's pretty rare that you find one over comps. And that's usually because its market's crashed. And then there's a good bit that are lower than comps, like the one I found. But anyways, I sold that one for $250. And then I also sold because we got to the point in a deal where it was, they had 3 cards on the table, which I can show in a second. And then I had 2 cards on the table. Their 3 cards added up to $1,000. My 3 cards added up to $950 because it was the $350 and then the 6. So $950 there. So then I picked out 3 cards out of my case, and I said, these 3 fill the gap. Any one of them. And I gave them prices. I was like, this one's more around 70, this one's more around 40, and this one's more around 30. The one around 30 was the McCaffrey Hollow Heroes, which is the one they picked. So I got a little bit of a lucky break there, but it was definitely the coolest one. I offered them a Jared Goff out of 75 rookie card, BGS 95, a kaleidoscopic short print of AJ Brown, which was like $40, and then the McCaffrey Hollow Heroes, which was like $30. And then they picked the McCaffrey Hollow Heroes. That won't be the easiest to sell. Definitely will be the easiest to sell. It was the coolest. I can show you the 3 cards I got. I got a downtown. I got one downtown, which means now I have 4 downtowns. I have 4 downtowns now. I have a Josh Jacobs downtown, a Saquon Barkley downtown, the Adrian Peterson downtown I've been talking about.
Those are all going to be great cards to take to the National.
And, like, I have kaleidoscopics. Like, I bought a Jamar Chase kaleidoscopic from the shop, actually.
Okay.
I have an AJ Brown kaleidoscopic.
Sweet.
So you can have like a short print counter. That's 2.
Okay.
You got Josh Jacobs downtown.
Okay.
3.
I like that one. Las Vegas cityscape in the background.
Saquon downtown.
Okay.
That's 4.
Okay.
This is a cool one. This is one of the ones I got in the deal. Or I think the next 3. The next 3 are going to be ones I got in the deal. So I'll move this one just to make sure that happens. CJ Stroud, Optic Stars.
Yeah, purple stars.
Not the purple stars.
Okay,
Stars,
stars
short print.
Star short print. Yeah.
It's not really a short print.
Yeah.
Like, you get one every pack in a hobby box. Or, like, you get, like, one every other pack in a hobby box. But technically, it's classified as a short print.
Yeah.
So that's what, 4? Yes, that's 4. Well, that'd be 5. We're just going to call it 4 because I don't really classify that as a short print. More than just a rare parallel, I would say. I got this one for $70. This one's really nice. Black Finite 1 of 1 rookie card of Jeremy Rutkert. I don't know who that is, and I don't believe in him. He did bad at Ohio State. I mean, he did decent at Ohio State. He had 26 receptions, 309 yards, 11 yards a catch and 3 touchdowns in his 2021 year at Ohio State.
Is he a tight end?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
But it's a 1 of 1 black.
But it's
finite.
the black finite
Yeah.
1 of 1.
And people like that.
So I think I can get $100 out of this one.
Yeah. So you pick that one up for 70. You think you can get $100 out of it?
If I don't get $100 out of it, I do not care. I'm not selling this card for under $100 because I will keep this card. Mm-hmm. It is so cool. The black finite 1 of 1. I will keep it. Like, I don't care. This is the big one I got in the deal. Jalen Waddle, rookie downtown,
nice.
PSA 10.
PSA 10. And from Optic as well.
And in the Optic one. It's also the Optic one. Which
nice.
People love that one. Oh, shoot. I forgot about my short print counter. So this will be 5. This will be 5. And then I don't know if you want to classify the black finite as a short print, but you can if you want to.
So you're trying to build your case up with more of those types of cards. We got the National here a few weeks away.
Peterson downtown, as I was talking about.
Yeah. And I know you're going to be at the National the whole time, from the moment it starts to the moment it ends.
Derrick Henry Unleashed.
Okay, so another short
These are
print.
really cool ones. I've actually never seen these ones.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cool. They're so cool. Like, I love the design.
So these are all cards that you think are going to be hot at the National, essentially, when you go to the next trade night. We got one more trade night here at Cards HQ between now and the National. That one is on July. I bet that's going to be a big trade night because that's going to be, what is it? I think it's July 14th is the date. It's the second Saturday, 13th, July 13th is the date. It's the second Saturday of July. So July 13th, that will probably be a hot trade night because that'll be like 2 weeks before, not even 2 weeks before the National. That'll be a week and a half before the National. So that'll be like the last chance for you to kind of get your cards in order that you want to have with you at the National. And I bet there will be other people here.
Definitely be looking for short prints and downtowns and stuff with that one.
Interesting. Yeah, well, that's it's cool kind of hearing your strategy with things and how that's evolved. So for somebody out there who is either getting into it themselves, they're newer, they haven't learned all the nuances of what moves well, what sells well, what they can flip, what they can make profit on, what football cards are hotter than others, or maybe for somebody who's trying to get their kid into it and get them immersed in it, right? What advice would you give to somebody starting out?
Watch YouTube videos and try to understand. Like, watch your videos, there's not really another YouTuber that I know of, I'm sure there are, that just like give out good information. So I'd go watch videos, just kind of understand. You're gonna have to understand that people aren't gonna usually give you 100% of comps or what you want and stuff. They're gonna give you less, so you're gonna have to buy less. You can't buy at 100% of comps. That's what I did, when I was a few years ago, and that's how you kind of get cooked and lose money gradually, which has happened. One thing that I'm experimenting on, which I actually think is a pretty good idea, I'm going to try it at the National. I've been trying it, which it's actually the first time I've been doing it is today. I've made a spreadsheet. I've made a Google spreadsheet, and in it, I write down in the spreadsheet, first column on the left, last name, then type of card, then grade. So let's say it's my Waddle. I'd go Waddle, because it's Jalen Waddle, so Waddle, downtown, PSA 10. That's all it is. For the Jeremy Rutkert Black Finite, I would go Rutkert, Black Finite 1 of 1, because that's a little, that's kind of what you need. You can't say Black 1 of 1. It's you got to be a little more specific. And then I'd say PSA 9, because it was a 9. And then the column to the right of that, I put the price I bought it for. I'd either say cash or trade, because it's technically not a win, but if I trade in a card, if I traded for it at $50 value and I get $50 cash for it, that's a win, correct? Because cash, I can then go buy a $70 card, right, at 80% or something, or a $60 card at 80% with my $50. So, or 90% or whatever. So then the column to the right of that, it's going to be what you sold it for. Mm-hmm. Right? So you track all of that. You track what you bought it for, what you sold it for. And then in the column to the right of that, which is going to be the last column, that's 4 columns, you're going to put profit or loss. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing that today. And then obviously if you have a lot of cards, Like, I've gained 5 cards as I've been here, and then sold a card. So it's like, now, instead of having 20, I have 25. So what I think I'm going to do, once it gets, like, crazy, is I'm going to delete every column of card that I don't have. So basically, has been sold. I will delete every single one of those columns. And then, but I'm going to keep track of what I profit or lost.
Right.
So then,
Like a
let's
running
say
profit and loss total.
let's say I'm up $100,000, right? Because I'm just
That'd
so
be nice.
amazing.
That'd
like
be a
that.
good few days.
It's just so amazing. Then at the top, at the very first row, I'll like kind of move everything a row down. I'll put plus 100,000. So then, like, all right, cash flow as of January 1st. And then I'll write, like, and then I'll basically just blank out the 2 columns, the next 2, because obviously I can't buy or sell. And then I'm going to write plus 100,000. So then, the next time I have to do that, I know that I was up 100,000. Now let's say I lose 75,000.
You can bring it down.
So then I bring it down. And now I know overall, since this point, how much am I up or down?
Yeah. We're about to release an update to Market Movers that makes what you're talking about even easier in Market Movers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it would be. It's Market Movers obviously has collection tracking, and it will track your profit and loss and everything like that.
But it hurts when it doesn't have it in the marketplace because it's like a low numbered card.
So that's actually what the big improvement is. So we've now tying your collection tracking to sales history. So the sales history will now tie into it, so you get the more robust sales data. So it can help you better identify profit and loss on rarer cards. So that update will be out soon in the next few weeks, and we're pushing that. We want to get that in place before the National, so people like you who are trying to track their profit and loss as they're working the national show floor have a tool that helps them automate some of what you're describing there a little bit easier. Yeah, that should be out of Market Movers soon. But however you choose to do it, spreadsheet, Market Movers, whatever the method, I love the fact you're tracking it, and I love the fact that you are paying attention to that, how you're doing.
Ran into a problem last year where we really couldn't tell.
Right.
Like, we thought I had lost a bit of money over the whole national, but at the same time, I don't know where that money went because I don't remember.
We weren't 100% sure. You were buying boxes and ripping boxes as well.
So that could have been it.
With your money from some deals, you were selling cards, getting some deals, buying some boxes,
ripping. It was just over and over and over.
Yeah. So, you were probably, I'm sure you made money on a lot of deals, but then I'm sure there were probably some deals where you didn't, but then there was also just some expenditure of cash. So at the end of the week, we weren't totally sure.
And then another thing is, I'm not going to put every single card in there because there are some cards in my case that are lesser cards that are like $10. And then some people will just buy it from me. Like, I think the shop bought some random cards I didn't think to put in the spreadsheet. Actually, they were bigger cards. It was like a $30 Sam Laporta card that I had. Oh, shoot. I'm getting one of those for my grading reveal, too. I just remembered that. Getting an out of 10 Sam Laporta RPA. That I overpaid for because I thought it was going to grade well.
Hopefully it grades well, and then you get the money out of it. Okay. Let's wrap up with this. National. Coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Big moment in the year every year.
Yeah.
What is the National like for you? What is your plan for the National this year?
Keep track of the money. You just get a lot of Card Kids content. If we, as much as we can. We got a lot last year. I remember we were doing it up until like, a month into the school year. We were just posting national content. It'd be cool to do a Whatnot stream. I know we were trying to do that. We were going to try to do that last year, and it didn't end up working out. It'd be cool to do a Whatnot stream. Go around the National, buy some really nice cards, and have like a high-end Whatnot stream. That'd be cool. Have fun, right? Obviously, you gotta have fun. It's not all about the money. It's something about the collecting. Most of it's about the money for, me, but I have my Florida collection. I have my Robert Lewandowski collection. Have fun. I mean, obviously, don't be afraid to take some losses. It happens, right? If I go into a trade and I'm trading it at, like, let's say $800, but then someone's offering me cash $750. I don't love it because I'm technically losing money, but at the same time, with that $750, I can then go buy a $900 card at 80%. So it's like, take your chances, you know. If you really love a card, buy it. Like, that's what I've done sometimes. To be fair, I got cooked the one time I did it. But, I mean...
And you're just going to do a high volume of trading and buying and selling.
Yeah. Have
all
fun.
over the show floor, with
Have
some
fun.
with dealers and then a lot with
Kids.
other people who just show
I don't know
up.
if there's a
Trade
Card
nights
Kids
there are
trade
going to
zone
be
or
huge.
not.
Yeah, there is a Card Kids trade zone.
So I'll be sitting there a lot.
We're going to do that at our Sports Card Investor booth. So anyone listening who's bringing your kids to the National, make sure to come by the Sports Card Investor booth because we have a safe area there for kids to trade with other kids. It's our Card Kids trade zone at the Sports Card Investor booth. Cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get to the National. It's a fun father-son trip. Reeves and I are flying out early, staying till the bitter end. Reeves will even help us put up and take down our Sports Card Investor booth. So his labor is appreciated. This has been fun, buddy. I appreciate you coming on the show and sitting down and just talking about the card market and your own ventures in it for a little while. It's been a lot of fun.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to let you get back out there onto the show floor of Cards HQ.
Go try to get that kaboom.
To work, there you go, to work a few more deals. And I want to remind the audience that these shows, these full-length Geoff Wilson shows are available under the Geoff Wilson Show channel on YouTube, but also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So make sure you are subscribed everywhere so you can listen to the Geoff Wilson Show on the go. We appreciate you. We'll see you soon in the next one. Take care.